Welcome back. It is 6:43 on your Friday morning. A few lawsuits have been filed over the past week, if you've been paying attention, over the Realty Building explosion. The timing is interesting because the statute of limitations was about to run out. So this morning we're exploring that statute of limitations and why it's different for different types of cases. Attorney David Betras is here for Legally Speaking. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Been a couple weeks, so good.
Welcome
back.
Been. Frank's
filled in admirably.
Yeah, I was up at the lake and broke my boat, so
now he's back.
So now I'm back, and I got to go to Savannah today. My son's getting engaged.
Oh,
so congratulations to my soldier. Yeah,
for sure. So let's start with the basic part. Why statute of limitations? I found it interesting because it can be wildly different, the time span between civil cases and criminal cases.
Yeah, it can. So civil cases, it's a 2-year statute for general negligence cases. But there's a lot of there's exceptions to that. Mm-hmm. So if you're incompetent or you're a minor, that could go 2 years past your age of majority or 2 years past the time you are restored to competency. On contract cases, it's 8 years, 10 years, frauds, 4 years. Medical malpractice, legal malpractice, accounting malpractice, that's a 1-year statute of limitations. And of course, there are limits to that too. I mean, there's exceptions to that too. Now, on criminal cases, the general rule, it's longer. For the most serious crime, murder, there is no statute of limitations. For rape in Ohio, it's 25-year statute of limitations. But if they find DNA, it's 5 years from the time they find the DNA. Okay? And in most other criminal statutes, it's anywhere between 5 and 8 years, depending on the circumstances, depending on the age of the victim. There's all kind of things that impact that. Look, what the law ultimately wants is you not to sit on your rights, because when you sit on your rights, you commit what's called, ready for a new word, everyone? Latches. Okay. Latches is when you have a right and you don't exercise it, you lose it. So you got to use it or lose it. So that's sort of the down and dirty of statute of limitations.
In these cases, I mean, I think there's been at least 3 lawsuits that have been filed in the last week, almost a full 2 years, and now it has been a full 2 years since the Realty Building explosion. Does that timing matter at all, like when it comes to the legal sense, that they're kind of getting it in at the last second?
It depends on the case. So we have a number of the realty cases building, and we filed early. Yeah. Because we wanted all that evidence preserved. If you wait a long time, evidence could degrade or could be lost. So if you're thinking of suing someone and you think evidence might be destroyed, a lot of lawyers send out what's called a preservation of evidence letter. So you notify the other side, hey, don't destroy evidence. Because in a case, if you find someone destroying evidence that helps you, you can get what's called positive inferences or spoliation from them doing that.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So why are there different levels? Like why is it 2 years for some and 1 year for some and 6 months for some?
I'd like to say that the insurance companies had no impact on that, but they absolutely did. Okay. So the insurance companies want to know their risk, and so that's why they've, I think, now here's the crazy part. If you have an uninsured motorist claim, that's 3-year statute, but that's by contract. But I don't know why it's 2 years. It should be more, but it's not, because I have a saying, anytime the state legislature is in session, we're all in danger, okay? Because they just love playing with our laws.
But are there ways around it, though? Like, I mean, you mentioned the DNA part of rape. I feel like that's a little
There are ways around it. There is what's called, in a medical malpractice case, the discovery rule. So it could go another year from the time you knew about it or should have known about it. Okay, so if you didn't discover the malpractice until the year is already run, you get another year. But then there's what's called statutes of repose. Woo, that's a new word.
That is.
Statute of repose. What's that? That means it can't extend past that date. So a statute of repose on medical malpractice cases is 4 years. If you don't find out in 4 years, you're out of luck. But then again, there's exceptions to that rule. So, it wouldn't be lawyers unless we made a rule, then made exceptions, so the public couldn't understand it. So you'd have to hire a lawyer to get around all of it.
I feel like I learned a lot this morning, Dave. That was great. Yeah. And we always learn that
we brought you the landmark. I know Frankie doesn't bring you landmark, but I do. I bring you the cinnamon rolls and everything.
And we appreciate it.
And I always serve them, too. Frank doesn't do that.
We are well taken care of. Dave, good to see you.
Good to see you.
And he'll be back on, by the way, Tuesday. Free legal advice next week.